kind of young in age, you want to sub the whole team out halfway through the first half, starting from the players highest on the field, right? So you take out the forwards, you take out the wingers and maybe the midfielders, and you replace the whole team. Doesn't matter if the players on the bench are weak. Then halfway through the second half, you put all those the players who you took out. Halfway through the second half, you put the same players back in. So you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck with your team if you sub this way, because what's going to happen is you're going to get a nice flow of energy from the players. There's some you get the most out of your players because now players know what to expect, right? If players don't score in the first half, once they see this pattern, they're going to be looking forward to playing in the second half. Players who come in the first half, they're going to know they got one more half, right? They're going to have first half of the second half to kind of, play strong. So this is right. Some coaches will tell 3 players to warm up, then only put 1 in. And what this does, it screws with players' minds, because if you tell them to warm up and they don't go in, then next time you tell them to warm up, maybe their heart's not into it. So it's almost like the coach who cried wolf. I've seen some coaches take a player off and sub that player for the same exact player literally 2 seconds later, and it just makes no sense. So in this way, you're going to get 2 nice blocks of time to play in the first half, and then 2 nice blocks that players can play in the second half. So it makes it pretty even, and it's just a smooth way to run subs. And besides that, the one thing you want to tell players, at the start of the game is when you're attacking, right, you want to spread out, open up passing lanes, opening up attacking lanes. When you're defending, you want to compress and slide to the goal, because then you're going to close passing lanes and close defending lanes. And this is going to allow you to defend as a team, right? So when you're attacking, spread out, open up, defending, close down, right? And besides that, it's having a lot of fun, being encouraging, right? Helping players. You want to be a leader, a mentor for these kids, and always encourage them to play with class and good sportsmanship. Encourage them to shake other teams' hand, even if they've lost. Tell the referees thank you, things like that, and remind them to thank their parents if they're dropping them off at practice and games, and simple things like that. So hopefully this helps. Reach out with any questions. All right, thank you. In terms of defending and attacking corners, here's a very simple recipe of what you could execute. So this is what Doug Devids used to show us how to do, right? So you have the goalkeeper in the center, and man marking is just so ineffective. I'll just break a defender faster than you can say blueberry pancakes, right? I am unmarkable in the box. So that's why if you put your players where the ball's gonna be, it's super hard to score corners if they're in the place where they could just take a step back up and clear the ball. So for those reasons, if you might need to practice to set this up where you can draw this out for them, right? You have a player to the left and right of the goalkeeper, then you have almost two little walls, right? And then one player is here in case they try and run a short, right? In case they're trying to send a short corner, then this player could run out. But if you have them line up in this little, it's almost like a castle defense, then they're going to be where the most dangerous ball in, right? Because the chances that someone receives the ball in this area and then on one touch finishes on goal past all these players, it's not realistic. And this isn't stationary. These players can be can move, right? They don't need to stay, right? If the ball comes here, this player is going to want to come out, and if the ball comes here, then you could kind of expand, right? Clear the back line out as long as the ball is put in this place. But if this ball is put in the danger zone, then one of these players should be able to clear it out. So I'd encourage that. In terms of attacking corner, right? Attacking corner, you could call this the 6, right? And this is a simple play. You have your maybe two defenders. The defenders could be closer. Then you have, right? So this is you're defending this side of the goal, and then you have your whole team line up in that danger zone, right? So if a corner gets played in, what you do is right before the corners, right before your winger kicks the ball. Players run to the penalty spot, and then they make then they make a penetrating run right on goal. So everyone takes they shuffle, right, sharp run to the 18, so they push up, push out, and then they dive in right on goal. They crash that goal area, and then the chances that it's going to hit on one of your players or one of the defenders on the opposing team is very high. And I've scored like this many times. I've scored like this. We ran the same play against Quinnipiac when I was playing for URI. So this is something simple, easy to teach. It's super simple. And then you have, if they have 2 attackers, you want to have maybe 3 defenders. If they have 1 attacker, you want at least 2 defenders. So a 2-to-1 ratio of defenders to attackers. And then, you could even, you could run this same play 3, 4, 5 times in a game, and it's going to be super hard to defend, even when they know what you're doing. And you could just call it out. You say, run the 6, right? Run the 6 play, and everyone just lines up on the 6, two defenders back. Maybe, and then you could even run a trick play. Let's say you ran this 3 times in a row. Now they're all expecting on the 4th corner kick to do. You tell them, you could tell them, do them like the line, do the 6, and then make some type of signifier that means that you're going to do a trick play. Now this player runs in, plays in, and they're going to be expecting you to play these guys, but this guy just sneaks over, gets the ball, can put a little chip in, finish on goal, or just finish on goal himself, right? So there's variations. But if you're very beginner coach, this is a simple way to look quite advanced because it's so simple and super effective. So you could score 2-3 times with this thing. Just bury that, your best striker or the person who can serve a ball in with quality, and it makes it so it's hard for the goalkeeper to operate because he's got no move, he's got no room because he's seeing, he's seeing 14 people crash his goal, so it's super hard to defend if you're a goalkeeper like that. What Doug Nevins used to do really well is he would use visual cues to show lineups, right? So when it's on pen and paper, it's hard to kind of communicate. It's hard to kind of communicate formations of teams. But if you use some cones or something, players like seeing visual, right? So you say, okay, there's 4 defenders, 2 central, 2 on the winger. There's three players in the middle who kind of control the middle. They should ideally be arguably the best players on your team, right? So 1 on the inside or, 2 on the outside. So this is, right, you could go 4-3-3, 1 high attacker, right? 1 high attacker, and then two kind of lower attackers, or you could go, right, and that's simple. So players will understand. You say, okay, our formation is 4-3-3, or you could go 4-4-2, right? 4, then you have like kind of 2 stacked on top of each other. Then you're running this diamond in the middle, and then 4-4-2, right? Left and right striker. Then you can have them kind of run and they go as they please, and then you kind of want to tell them, and this might be getting a little too advanced for you, but right. So you can show them when we're attacking, we win the ball in our half. You can kind of everyone kind of spreads out, and then create space to move the ball, and then when we're defending, we compress back towards the goal. We close passing lanes, close defending lanes, and when players see cones and that movement, you kind of want to show them where they move when you're attacking. So you kind of make everything expand when you're attacking, and you can compress and then slide towards the goal when you're defending, right? So that's simple. And then once they understand in general where they should be on the field, then they can start to break the rules a little bit. It's like if someone loses their mark or someone got hurt but the play is still going on, then it allows them to just have to showing them defensively and offensively is one of the most important things for a novice coach, because once you show them in general where they should be, then they can start to, then they have an idea. So now you're not screaming at them. Some coaches don't tell them where they should be, and then they start screaming at them when they're out of position, and it's almost like then players are playing on eggshells because they're just scared of getting yelled at or taken out of the game, right? So it's hard to kind of see this. So let's say you're defending, right? If you're defending, hold on, let me flip this camera around. Can I do that? No, I cannot. Okay.